Hi, my name is Sheree, and I'm going to show you today how I take care of some very badly messed up synthetic hair. I usually keep my synthetic hairstyles in for about 2 weeks to 3 weeks. This has been in for about a week and a half, and I went to Miami, and the salt water did it some extreme damage. As you can see, it's a bit tangled, a little matted under some areas. It's lost its curl pattern a little bit at the bottom. And I just want to demonstrate to you how it is that I go about getting it back to looking the way that it did when I first did my hair, which was about a week ago. The name of the hairstyle that this is Grammy Wave Weave. So now most of the tangles are out, but it's not as curly and it's pretty bushy looking and dry looking at the moment. I'm going to begin by, I'm not sure in inches, but I part off a section that has about maybe 3 tracks at the max to be able to fit inside the rollers, and I'll show you the rollers in 1 second. I'm using the Remington rollers. They come in a package like this. I'm not sure the exact name of the style of rollers that they are, but they come in a bifold booklet like this. There's 18 rollers in here. They're like the rag rollers that are on a bendable rod. They heat up pretty fast, but they don't have very high heat. So they're good for synthetic hair. You can use them on human hairstyles. You may have to use them for a long period of time, or it may not hold its curl as well as it does in synthetic hair. Because this hair is so long and I don't like it extremely curly, I use the rows of 3 tracks so that it's not a lot of hair that you would have to hold on to. And I begin by wetting it down with the Wet n Wavy. You don't have to use Wet n Wavy necessarily. You can pretty much use water or any moisturizing leave-in conditioner made for synthetic hair that you prefer, if you know one that works better. It's just the premise is to get the hair as wet as possible, but without being sopping wet. As you can see, I wet it and it's easier to comb through, but it is losing its curl. And I use a round barrel brush to maximize as much of the curl as I can as I'm brushing it out. I proceed to put the Luster's Pink Lotion, just a little dab for each section, just to give it that moisture and control, and it keeps it from tangling up. Next I put the Mousse. Doesn't have to be a lot. With these rollers, it says that it shouldn't be with wet hair, so you want to keep your hair damp and not wet, because they don't, they're electric, they don't work well with wet hair, and it would take so long for it to dry. My hair needs to be done within a short amount of time. So that's the Mousse. And then I begin to roll my hair. This is what the roller looks like. Roll from the bottom. No particular way I roll it. The heat makes it keep its curl, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I just make sure that I roll it tightly all the way to the top. and then you fold, and it stays in place on its own. So I'll show you again on this side. So I'm going to keep the rollers in for maybe about an hour or two. You don't have to keep them in that long if the hair is not that wet. Actually, you can do this process dry, but because the synthetic hair was so matted, I had to wet it down. So if you did it dry, you can keep them in while you're getting dressed, and when you take them out, the hair is pretty much curled because the rollers have the heat core in them. So I'm going to let it dry. For the finishing touch, I'll spray it down the holding spray just to freeze the curls in once I take the rollers out. This is flexible hold as well, so it's not hard. I'll do the same thing with the oil sheen. I put a bonnet over my head, and you can leave these in overnight because the rollers are soft and it doesn't affect the way you sleep. And that's about it. I'll show you the finished process when it's done. Alright, see you in a little bit.